All right, hey, welcome to Unit 12, Day 2. I can graph using the quadratic formula. So here's the quadratic formula. X equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. Well, over 2a. I'm going to just sing that for a while until you get frustrated. So let's look at an example. 2x squared plus 5. Just like we saw in class, the first steps are the same. Okay, so first we set it equal to 0. 2x squared plus 5x minus 4 equals 0. And then we use the quadratic formula. Okay, so x equals the opposite of b. That would be negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4 times a times c all over 2a, 2 times 2. Okay, simplify. X equals negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 57 over 4. Okay, not great, but doable. Plug the square root of 57 on your calculator and you'll get a decimal, and that's okay. Negative 5 plus or minus. So it's about 7.55 over 4. Okay, so we have to break that apart. We've got, let's see here. So negative 5, I'm going to undo that. We've got, so if we simplify this, negative 5 plus 7.55, that's 2.55 over 4, which is 0.6375. About. That's a good approximation. Okay, if we do negative 5 minus 7.55, that's about negative 12.55 over 4, which is negative 3.1375 or thereabouts. Okay, so those are our two values that we're looking at. So we've got 1x here, 1x here. Okay, we're going to do the same thing we did in class today, except with our table, our first two zeros are those same values we found. Okay, so 0.6375, negative 3.1375. Sorry, that's hard to see. Okay, and then we're going to get the vertex, which hopefully you remember. For the vertex, okay, it's been a little while, but we add these two values together, 0.6375 plus negative 3.1375 and divide by 2. Okay, so that is negative 2.77 over 2. Which gives us negative 1.385. Okay, now I don't have the room to finish this problem, so I'm going to, feel free to pause it, but I'm going to take this and go to the next page. Okay, so here's the key information from that last point. And remember, this little value right here, this is the start of the vertex. So that's the only way we're changing it up. Vertex, that's the bottom part or the top, the very lowest point or the very highest point on the graph. Okay, so now that we have that value, negative 1.385, we're going to plug that back in up here and find out what x is. Okay, so, or sorry, what y is. So we've got 2 negative 1.385 squared plus 5 times negative 1.385. Notice I'm using the whole number that I got so that I can be as accurate as possible, minus 4. Okay, so plug that whole thing into your calculator, and we get negative 7.088. Okay, we've got 1, 2, 3 points. We can now go over and make our graph. Remember, this is all you really need to graph, just those 3 points, and we can really see what the graph is doing. Okay, so here's the x, here's the y. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a little bit more. And that's really all I need. So let's graph these points. We've got 0.6375. Okay, so that's a little bit more than half. It's pretty good. Is that 0? Negative 3.1. Okay, so that's a little bit more than 3. Is that 0? And negative 1.385. Okay, here's negative 1.3. It's not halfway. A little bit more than halfway. Oops, I don't want to put it there. It's going to go down. And negative 7.08. Okay, so that's the actual point. Let me erase this one right here. Okay. Okay, so as I graph this, so you can see what this graph is going to do. It's going to go through that point, back up there, and there's my parabola. Okay, so the only difference is now that we have our 2 points, we want to find the vertex. Okay, so I want you to try one thing. All I want you to do on this is if I give you a table like this, okay, so I want you to try and bring to class tomorrow. So if I give you the equation 2x squared plus 3x minus 1 equals y, and I've already found the x and y's for you. I want you to find the vertex. Okay. So here's those two values, 0.280, negative 1.78, and 0, and I want you to fill in the vertex. You don't even have to graph it, but I want you to fill in the vertex and see how you do. Okay, have a great night. See you tomorrow.